I have several questions. What is the highest technique you hope to achieve?
To have no technique.
What are your thoughts when facing an opponent?
There is no opponent. Not thinking yet, not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come. When the opponent expands, I contract. When it contracts, I expand. And when there is an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself.
There's a third form to Ultra Instinct, but it seems like no one really noticed it. Here's my theory on it. You remember that huge mass of energy that he was surrounded in? And it sort of seemed like there was an explosion, but not in the way we're used to. Not in the form of an explosion coming from within, like when he changed into Super Saiyan for the first time versus Frieza, or when he changed into Super Saiyan 3 versus Boo. It was more of, or not even like Kaioken, but it was more like an explosion or birth of something totally different from what we're used to seeing, which is very strange because Ultra Instinct is all about self-movement and the body moving on its own. So why is it that when he transformed into Ultra Instinct that he even had any form of energy? Was it just to look cool, or did it actually have a meaning? But before we dive too far into that, let's discuss exactly what God Ki is and how it is not the same as Ultra Instinct. There is God Ki and then there's Ultra Instinct. In order to understand God Ki, you have to know what Ki in Dragon Ball actually is. Ki in Chi. Okay, I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible with this one. So Ki is always around you. You're always surrounded by it. It's everywhere. It's in everything. When you are a character in the Dragon Ball universe, you have access to the Ki that is constantly surrounding you. And when people test your power level, they're actually just testing how much of the Ki that's always around is actually in your control. And that's the most basic way you can put it. So with that being said, each and every form that they take as a Super Saiyan increases the amount of energy or Ki that you are able to get access to. If they never found out about Super Saiyan forms, they still would have been somewhat powerful, but their access to Ki would have to be slowly trained and slowly waned on. Instead, like a drip, you have to drip into more power. But the Super Saiyan forms, literally through their biology, the Super Saiyan forms literally opens a hole up of control, and the further you push yourself, the harder it is to control, because you're gaining access to more and more energy at one time. And remember, energy, chi, ki, remember that it burns stamina throughout the entire body. You have to be in tune with your entire body to even access Ki, period. But through intense training, you can access more Ki. So when you go Super Saiyan, you are burning through your energy so quickly and at such a high rate of speed. The Super Saiyan form can obviously be slowed down as far as the stamina draining, so that it isn't like a don't do or a bad form to use. It still drains, but like if you go to the hyperbolic time chamber like Goku and Gohan did during the Buu saga, it can be slowed down, or it can be controlled. It can be managed. Now, let's talk about God energy and the difference in that, and how control meets Ki versus stamina. Put simply, it's not SS1, 2, 3, then blue. It's base form SS1, 2, 3, base form SS blue. Because Super Saiyan Blue is about Ki control. And in order to even access Super Saiyan Blue, you have to become almost one with Ki. And since I told you it's not about the Ki that you have, there is no amount of Ki that you have. It's about becoming one with the Ki that you're surrounded by. And when you become one with the Ki that you're surrounded by, it's not unlimited. It's still based on stamina, but now you drain stamina way slower while having access 2, an abundance of ki. So it's basically like being Super Saiyan 3, that corrupt ass fucking hard to control form, having that amount of ki control with that amount of ki control. I know it sounds funny to say it out loud, but that is what God Ki is. Now, let's finally talk about Ultra Instinct. Why, if these are all moves of you not thinking and without using your brain and using your head, why does it require so much energy? Does that mean that Ultra Instincts comes from an external force? Yes. That's exactly what that means. Ultra Instinct in the DBZ universe comes from an external force, because in our world we have a thing called the flow state. If you're a boxer, you know what it is. Personally, I boxed for about 20 years plus. I can say that the flow state is a real thing, and in DBZ it's not the same, because if he was entering into the flow state, there would be no energy, there would be no stamina burnage. He would just move, his body would just do and move out of like reaction. But since it's the DBZ universe, he has energy in order to compensate or to keep up with Jiren. The energy that the Ultra Instinct came with in the first half was pure Ultra Instinct defense. But when you enter into the flow state in the real world, you have pure flow in defense and offense. Everything you've ever learned all comes out on its own, and you don't have to force it, you don't have to think about techniques, it just comes out. And that's what Goku had. But the only difference between DBZ and the real world was, in the real world there's no energy, there's no flashy colors, there's no sand blood that turned your hair different colors, because everything works off of energy, ki, chi. So he's engrossed in this outside chi, making his body move on its own, burning his body's stamina faster than he would normally be able to use it. But the surrounding aura, the ki chi energy that surrounds him, keeps him intact the whole time. Now, the second form. I was bringing up the fact that the energy that he was encased in might have been a second form. The point I was making was that there was an in-between form. In between Omen and Mastered, there's another form. When he was encased in that energy, that's when he was at his most powerful. He took all of Jiren's blast and just flicked it. But you can counter that argument by saying that wasn't Jiren's full power blast, and as the battle goes on, he uses even more power, matching Ultra Instinct. Or you can counter that saying that Jiren had his own Ultra Instinct, and that's why I'm about to end the video here, because that is an argument of an argument that's just going to turn into an even bigger argument. And plus, all of the shit that I've said in this video is all theories. None of it has, I haven't talked to any Toriyama people, I haven't sat and like logged with people and talked about this information. It is all just one guy's theories, so don't bite my head off, okay? Alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Fuck that. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, don't like the video. If you want to subscribe to see more shit like this, subscribe. I'm not finna be fake. Thanks for watching, y'all.